boys and girls. Look, it's my felt board. That means it's time for a story. And today is a story that you probably know because we've told it before in our classroom. And it is a fairy tale. And we're talking about fairy tales and imagination stories. And in this story, it's a fairy tale because animals in the story wear clothes and talk. Now, I don't know any animals in real life who wear pants and shoes and shirts and stand on their legs and talk like they're people. So that's why it's a fairy tale. It's made up. This is the story of a little girl with golden hair named Goldilocks and the 3 bears. So here's the story. Are you ready? Once upon a time, there was a house near the woods. And it was a very lovely house. And a family lived in the house, and they had a little girl named Goldilocks. She was called Goldilocks because her hair was yellow and golden like the sunshine. She loved to run around in her yard and play. And her mother would always say, "Now, dear, be careful. Don't run off. Don't run off into the woods behind our house because you might get lost and you might not be able to find your way home." And Goldilocks said, "Okay, Mother, I won't." But one day, her mom went into town to go grocery shopping. And she said, "Goldilocks, do you want to come?" And Goldilocks said, "I'll stay here and play." And the mom said, "Don't go in the woods." She said, "I will not." But as soon as the mother went, Goldilocks went up into the woods. And she started to play. When Goldilocks was playing in the woods, she didn't know that on the other side of the woods, there was another house. And in this house, there lived a family. But it wasn't a family of mommies and daddies and boys and girls like at our house. It was a family of bears. There was a daddy bear. There was a mommy bear. And there was a little baby bear, a little boy bear. There he is. Well, they loved their house in the woods. One morning, when the bears woke up, it was time to eat breakfast. And the mom made porridge. That's kind of like oatmeal or hot cereal. And she made 3 bowls. She made a big bowl for the daddy, a middle bowl for herself, and a little bowl for the baby bear. And they went to go eat it, but it was too hot. "Oh, this is too hot," said Daddy Bear. "Oh, my dear," said Mommy Bear. "It is just too hot and I can't eat it." "It's too hot," said Baby Bear. "I can't eat it." So Mommy Bear said, "Let's go for a walk in the woods until it cools off." And they said, "Okay." So the bears took a walk in the woods while their breakfast was cooling down. Goldilocks, meanwhile, had been in the woods for a long time, and she got lost and couldn't find her way home. She came across a house. She didn't even know who lived there. She didn't know who lived in the house, but she was getting tired and hungry. So she went to the house and knocked at the door. And nobody answered. So do you know what she did? She went inside. Now, would you go into a house when nobody even answered the door and you don't even know who lives there? I don't think you should do that, boys and girls. It's not safe. But Goldilocks did. She went into the house. My Goldilocks fell. Let me get her. She went into the house and she smelled the breakfast and she went over to the table. And she said, "Oh my gosh, I am so hungry. I need to eat." So she tried a bite from the daddy bear's bowl. And she said, "Oh, it's too hot." Then she tried from the mommy bear's bowl and said, "Oh, ew, it's too cold." Then she had some of the baby bear's porridge. And do you know what? It was just right. And she ate it all up and she was feeling a lot better. Then she was getting tired and wanted to sit down. And in the next room, she saw some chairs. First, she saw this chair. And she went over to the chair and she tried to sit on it, and she said, "Oh no, this chair is too hard. I don't even like that chair." Then she went to the next chair, and she sat on it, and she said, "This is too soft. I don't like this chair." Then she saw a little chair, which was Baby Bear's chair, and she said, "Oh, that looks like my size. It's just right." But she was too big for the chair, and it fell down and broke. That was not very nice of her. She was getting tired, so she said, "I'm going to go upstairs and see if there's a bed." She went upstairs. She found the bedrooms. Now, first she tried this bed. This was Papa Bear's bed. She tried to lay down in the bed, but she said, "Oh no, this bed is too hard." Then she found Mommy Bear's bed, which was very pretty and had a lot of pillows. She tried to lay down there, and she said, "Oh no, that is too soft." Then she found Baby Bear's bed, and do you know what? She fit in it just right. Look at that. And she fell fast asleep. And do you know what happened? While Goldilocks was sleeping, the bears came home from their walk. I'm going to make some room over here. Okay. Let's move this a little bit. The bears came home from their walk. And when they walked in, Daddy Bear said, "Something doesn't seem right around here. Something seems different. What is going on?" And Mommy Bear came in and she said, "Oh, my dear, my dear, my dear, you're right. Oh, my goodness, it looks like something has happened here." And then the Baby Bear walked in, and Baby Bear said, "Hey, something's happening over there." Well, the bears walked up to the breakfast table to eat their porridge. And Daddy Bear said, "Hey, someone's been eating all of my porridge." And the Mother Bear said, "Oh, my dear, my dear, oh, my dear, yes. Oh, someone ate all of my porridge up." Baby Bear took one look at his empty bowl, pointed at it, and said, "Wah! Someone's been eating mine, and they ate it all up." Papa Bear said, "This is not right." Then they went into the room where the chairs were. Papa Bear said, "Hey, someone's been sitting in my chair." And the Mommy Bear said, "Oh, my dear, you're right. My cushions are all messed up. Someone's been sitting in my chair, too." Baby Bear took one look at his broken chair, pointed at it, and said, "Wah! Someone sat in my chair and broke it." The bears were very confused. Now, Father Bear said, "Let's go upstairs and see what's going on." They went upstairs. Papa Bear said, "Hey, someone's been sleeping in my bed." Mama Bear went upstairs and she said, "Oh, my dear, you're right. Oh, my goodness, someone's been sleeping in my bed too. Oh, no." And Baby Bear came upstairs, and Baby Bear said, "Someone's been sleeping in my bed, and they're still there. Ah!" Just at that moment, Goldilocks jumped up with a shot when she saw the bears coming, freaked out, and said, "Oh my gosh, bears!" And she ran through the woods and all the way home back to her house. The bears couldn't believe what had happened to them. When Goldilocks got home to her house in the woods and her mother came home from the store, her mother said, "Did you have a nice day, dear?" And Goldilocks said, "You were right, Mother. I should never leave our yard, and I will never do it again, because I got lost in the woods and it was a little bit scary." And her mom said, "All right then, I'm glad you learned your lesson." And Goldilocks lived happily ever after, and she played all the time in her backyard, but she never ever went out into the woods again. Remember that story, boys and girls? Yeah, it's a fairy tale, because bears don't usually walk around dressed in clothes and talking, do they? But it's a good reminder that you should never go into anyone's house if you don't know who lives there and if you're not invited. That's not really polite, is it? And it's not nice to eat someone else's food or break their things. You have to be careful with other people's things, right? That's the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe you can tell it at home, or maybe you have that story at home in a book. Or you can go online and Google Goldilocks and the Three Bears and watch a little video of the story. And then you can remember all the details of the story. It was really great telling you a felt board story. That's one that I use in my class all the time. Love you. Have a great day.